Hi, my name is Trina, and this is the Anointed to Dance TikTok page. If this is your first time viewing my video, I encourage you to go to my TikTok page and look at other videos that are there to assist all liturgical dancers and praise dancers in bringing their dance ministry to another level in God and for God. And it's not only for liturgical dancers. If you are a pastor or a minister in your church or ministry leader, choir director, minister of music, a deacon, a usher, or whatever capacity you're working in the ministry, or if you're just a regular church member who's unable to get involved in a church at this particular time, and you want to know about the dance ministry and what the purpose is and what we do and all the behind the scenes information that we endure in order to prepare ministry day of dance to you. You can always go to my page, my TikTok page, or you can go to my YouTube channel, Anointed to Dance Ministries YouTube channel, and look at all the videos that are available, whereby guests and I provide scripture references, words of wisdom, and great and wonderful tips, and to help in bringing the dance ministry in your charge, or as you ministry leaders, dance ministry leaders, or dance ministry members yourselves, and bringing your ministry to another level in God and for God, individually as well as collectively. Now, on last week, our topic of discussion was birds of a feather. Basically talking about birds of a feather. You heard the term, flock together, the company you keep. Be aware of the company you keep. And everybody should have a Jonathan in their lives. And everybody, especially ministry leaders, should have Peter, James, and John in their lives as well, all around them. If you want to know what I mean by those, having a Jonathan and a Peter, James, and John in your life, go to the last previous video and check it out. I'll explain it to you, and I guarantee it, you will be blessed by the information you hear. All right, so today we're going to talk about sticking to the rules. Now, before we get into it, if there are any dance videos you would love for me to review and provide my honest feedback, do let me know in the comments or in my DM. Or if there are any topics that you would love to hear me discuss, or you have questions about, or you want to hear my opinion, then as well as giving you scriptural backup references, then let me know that as well. I want to hear more from you until 2024. Okay, so let's connect. Let's connect. So again, today's topic is about sticking to the rules, and this goes for all dance ministry members, students at dance schools, dance studios, the leaders, dance ministry leaders, the dance school owners, instructors, dance ministry choreographers. This goes for everybody, as well as the parents. So we're going to talk about those individual areas, but basically under the umbrella of sticking to the rules. Who shall stick to the rules? Just like the commandments. There were commandments, the 10 Commandments, and I think there were more before the actual 10 Commandments that were actually on there, because from my understanding, I need to read it again. Moses had a first set. God gave him his first set of 10 Commandments. I think there were 15 really commandments, and those were the one that he broke when he saw the children of Israel worship an idol god. They built an idol god, a calf made of gold. He saw that and he broke it. And then he had to get another one. God made another one. So that's what the 10 Commandments were. But I'll double check on that. If my memory serves me correctly, that was the case. So there are more commandments. And so they were set in place. Those were rules and regulations that God set in place for his people to abide by. So, and if they didn't abide by it, then they had to deal with the consequences. So God stuck with the rules, and so with the children of Israel, and same thing, it falls down to us as well. Those are rules and regulations that God asks us to abide by. He gives us the right to choose, but if we choose not to, then we have to deal with the consequences. All right, so sticking to the rules. Now, basically, sticking to the rules There's basically, it's talking about abiding by, obeying what's in place, making a promise to do what's set before you, and abiding by someone's rules, commandments, or wishes. And on the leader's side is continuing with the plan without changing it when you're setting rules, meaning sticking to it, and continuing to enforce the rules or the plan that you put in place. Again, sticking to the rules. So let's start with the dance ministry members as well as students. We're going to go into that, and we're going to talk about the parents, and then we're going to talk about the dance ministry leader, studio owner, as well as choreographer. So starting with the dance ministry members individually. These are some of the rules. There are rules that every ministry put in place. Every ministry leader puts in place. And dance ministry, we're talking about in particular. I know I've had mine for the excellency of the ministry. And so I know many other dance ministry leaders in various churches all across the world have their rules in place on what the dance ministry members need to abide by. All right, and I'm going to name a few. I'm sure there are many more, but these are just a few of the most common rules that are set in place or that are in place currently for many. I know they were mine, and I'll elaborate a little bit on each of them, some of them as I go along. All right, so for dance ministry members in ministry, attend rehearsals and events that you're assigned to or asked to minister to, attend them on time. Okay, attend these events on time, rehearsal on time. If you have to be at church to minister for praise and worship, and praise and worship starts at 9:30, don't get there at 9:25. And your dance ministry leader asks you to get there at 9, if not 8:45. Be there on time. And if you're a minor and you're relying on transportation from one of your parents, then please get on your parents about getting there on time. Okay, as well as rehearsal. Again, rehearsal, get there on time and be consistent. Parents, for the minors, make sure your child is there consistently. And as for the dancers who are driving on your own, be there consistently. Don't come to rehearsal when you feel like it. All right, not all the time. Not even a dance ministry leader is gonna always feel like going to rehearsal. I know I have my many moments of it's like I really don't feel like it. I'm tired. I'm just overwhelmed, or I'm in school. I have so much work to do. And there are many reasons that a lot of people don't. A lot of dance ministry leaders don't want to feel the need to go to church to rehearsal, but they have to. You got to push through. So same thing with dance ministry members. Go to rehearsal, even when you don't feel like it. I'm be like, oh, I'm tired. I worked all day. I was at school all day. You in the ministry, you need to stay committed. Stay committed. Everybody has to stay committed. You commit to something, show your commitment by your attendance. Okay. All right. So being at rehearsals, that's attendance. Being at rehearsal on time, and then at events when you're invited to particular minister at a particular event. Don't do a no call or no show. Communication is very important in all relationships, even in dance ministry members, leader relationship, a dance studio owner, student relationship. Please make sure if you're not coming, parents, if you're unable to bring your child to dance rehearsal or to the studio, then please call the dance ministry leader. I'm hot. Call the dance ministry leader. Lord have mercy. Call the dance ministry leader or the studio owner. Okay, it's very important you do that. That's a shame. I'm sweating like crazy. Bookshots. Make sure you do that because that's very important. Because again, that's part of the commitment. Being there, and if you don't call, and you're constantly not coming up or showing up for rehearsal or showing up for events, that shows yourself to be unreliable. Even parents, you have to bring your children to the rehearsal or to the event that they're being asked to minister to, or even at the dance in school. You make sure that you bring your child where she or he needs to be, because that'll teach them to be disciplined in their commitment in anything that they do, not just dance ministry, but also with work. Okay, also with school, being committed in other extracurricular activities, being committed to other friends when they're being asked to do something and they're there to do it, because they're learning to be reliable. Oh my God, I'm sweating like crazy. Where my air at? Hold on, I'm gonna turn it on. So pardon me. Pardon me, y'all see me sweating? My God. Okay. All right. To be continued. Here we go. The devil burning it up. Let me stop. So that's attendance. So same thing with not just rehearsal, Sunday school, if it's being required, that's set in place for dance ministry members to go to Sunday school, to Sunday services, so many Sunday services per month. If they need to go, if they're required to go to Bible study or revival, if they're having that, even if they're not ministering, if dance ministry leaders put that in place for each member to commit, even if it's like once a month. If you go to church once a month or Bible study once a month or maybe twice a month, whatever the dance ministry member, a leader requires of you or put in place, then please do abide by it. Show yourself reliable, show yourself committed, because you're not just only doing it for her, you're doing it unto the Lord because you committed yourself to do this to God, for God, and unto God. Okay. All right. Take care of your garments as another rule and regulation that's usually set in place by the dance ministry member leader. Okay. When you have a list, or when you're given a list of garments to purchase, please be certain to purchase those garments. All right. Because otherwise you won't be able to minister. I know when we always had new members coming on, I would give them a list of garment attire, dance studio, dance, can I say dance stores to purchase their garments. And I would tell them certain ones just to get. Mainly it was like the black dress or black, as well as black palazzo pants and black leotard and tights. Because if they don't do anything else, majority of us, that gives them an opportunity to go ahead and minister for something, because majority of everybody will have a black dress. So in order to include the new person, having the attire to be a black dress or black leotard, black tights, as well as black palazzo pants, being the required garment for a particular piece, that will include the new member when it's time for that new member to be able to go forth in ministry. So definitely make sure you purchase the garments that are required of you initially, as well as taking care of your garments. There's a video with one of my guests and I had a guest named Barbara Ashford. We talked about garments. Well, we talked about pageantry, correction. For me, I talked about garments and taking care of them. And when she came on, she talked about pageantry. We pretty much kind of touched on garments as well, taking care of them, as well as the flag, the pageantry, flags, billows, banners, taking care of that. So even with garments, you have to take care of it. Make sure you take care of it. Put it in a garment bag, on a hanger, keep it clean. Okay, that's part of hygiene as well. Make sure your hygiene is in place, because there are times when dance ministry leaders have to discuss hygiene when it becomes unbearable. Dance studio owners have to discuss hygiene when it becomes unbearable, when it seems like somebody, if you can't pinpoint it out at that time, somebody keeps coming to rehearsal or coming to the dance studio, not well kept, should I say. Not well kept. And, and it's okay, just pull that individual aside, and talk to that individual and just, get that squared away, and prayerfully it goes away. The smell goes away. So hygiene, taking care of your garments. All right, no jewelry is another rule. that usually is set in place. For us, we only require like studs when ministering, as well as if you're married, you can wear your wedding ring or your wedding band. Other than that, all the unnecessary jewelry, bracelets, necklace, chains, you know, big hoop earrings like this big, you know, that was not necessary. That was not required. That was not part of the attire because it brings too much attention to you, and it distracts the people who are being ministered to. It distracts them from the ministry, and it distracts them from receiving what God has to say to them through our ministry of dance as well as through music. So you want to avoid all distractions as much as possible. Again, having no jewelry. Some ministries require you to have no jewelry at all. No, not even studs. Okay. Not even your wedding ring. Put it aside, put it away. But for me, we wore studs, as well as, again, if you were married, you were allowed to wear your wedding ring or your wedding band. Another rule that's common, that's set in place when we were talking about garments, make sure you wear the right proper undergarments, the right bra, padded, with all those lines in it, because that's a distraction, especially when you're wearing white or even when you're wearing black, those prints that are designed like the lace and just full of designs and hard lines on them. It shows. And again, that's a distraction. So make sure you wear a nice, smooth, padded bra. Um, and usually sports bra helps because it holds you up. And now they're making more bras that kind of holds you up. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. That holds you up real good. Because I've seen some and it's strapless and it's smooth and it's they're well padded. I haven't bought any. The ones I've been seeing lately as advertisement, but some of you may be familiar with it, may have purchased it. But please make sure it's well smooth. As far as the undergarments below, make sure it's not too colorful, especially when you're wearing white or white. The best color to go with when you wear it all white is black. Black up top, black up at the bottom. Just make sure both are smooth, no extra lines and all that other kind of stuff. Smooth top, smooth bottom, makes the smoothness of the garment at the top and in the back and on the side to be effective. And that way it won't be a distraction. Okay, so that's another rule that's usually set in place. No gum chewing. I didn't allow that. No, because when you're chewing gum and dancing around, you have the tendency to bite your tongue. That has happened. Okay, so there's no gum chewing. And when I was in the choir, we couldn't sing chew gums. Like, what's that gum? Spit it out. Because when you can't really sing, well, some people can, like Stokely. He could sing down with that gum in his mouth. Anyway, he forever having a gum. But when I was in the choir, we were not allowed to wear chew gum because we were told that you can't chew gum and sing because you might accidentally swallow it. So we weren't allowed to do that. And same thing with dancing. A lot of dance ministry leaders don't allow you to chew gum in class, in the studio, in class, and in rehearsal at the church ministry, dance ministry. Because jumping around, you chewing and jumping, you could bite your tongue. You seriously can, or bite your jaw, anything. Gum accidentally falls out, somebody steps on it. Could be a whole craziness. Okay, so no gum chewing is allowed in a lot of rehearsals as well as dance studio classes. And a lot of times when my young girls, the little kids, I see them chewing gum, I go straight to them and do this. They know. I don't even have to say a word. They know. And sometimes I just have to look at it. I have to give them that look like that. They know. They go straight to the trash can. Yeah, because sometimes some of them chew like I do. You don't want to see me chew gum. That's all I gotta say. I chew all the sugar out of it. All right. Another rule, if there are new members ministry classes that are set in place for your particular dance ministry, be sure, dance ministry members, you attend them before you go forth. That's how what I had set up over the when I was the dance ministry leader at 2 different churches, Changing a Generation, as well as House of Hope Atlanta, formerly known as Greater Travelers Rest. I had new members classes set up, just like when you join the church in general, and you have to attend new members classes for so many weeks before you can participate in any ministry. Depends on your church, but this is how it was at both churches where I was. Before you could participate in any ministry, you had to finish your new members classes. And so after that, if you joined the dance ministry, new members had to participate in dance ministry classes. New members class. I think I had it for 6 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 6 weeks before they can go forth in ministry. That gives them an opportunity to understand what the ministry is all about, understand how much it can cost, and if they, after a while, they realize that it's not for them, then they know that, hey, that didn't waste their time in buying garments and going to rehearsals constantly, and then realizing that, hey, this is not for me. So, and there were times I'll say the most, maybe 3 times, some people dropped out during the new members classes, which was good because they realized this wasn't for them. And so they no longer wasted their time, as well as no longer wasted my time and other dance ministry members' time in helping out with showing her how to dance or the dance choreography. All right, so that's new members classes that may be set up. If you don't have it set up, ministry leaders, dance ministry leaders, I think it would be a good idea if you might want to try it out. If you're interested in getting my information on what I had set in place as relates to the new members classes, let me know. Holler at me. All right, another rule that's usually set in place for dance ministry members at various churches or at a lot of churches, don't miss a lot of rehearsals. I talked about that, but be ready to rehearse. When you come to rehearsal, okay, when you come to rehearsal, especially mine, you better be ready to rehearse. You better be ready to dance. You better be ready to hear me say, do it again. That wasn't done right. Do it again. Straighten your arm out. Nope, point that foot. Nope, straighten that leg out. Nope, turn your head. Nope, look up. Nope, stretch your neck. Nope, pull your shoulders back. Nope, arch your back. You better be ready. And do it over and over. Once you learn the choreography, you got to get ready. And then I know there are a lot of dance ministry leaders who are a lot like me, if not worse. So when you go to rehearsal, be ready to rehearse. Don't think, oh, just because I'm in rehearsal, I don't have to do that much. I don't have to go full out. No, maybe your dance ministry leader may, after having you do it so many times, I've given grace, yes, I must say, after doing it so many times and boom, 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 hardcore, maybe once or twice, I'll let them do it, kind of mock it. We'll mock it. But majority of the times we do it full out because it works on and helps keep those memory cells and those muscle memories in order and intact. So when you actually go out there to minister on that Sunday morning or that Wednesday night or Saturday or whenever you are going out there to minister, when you actually go out, it'll be natural to you because your body, your muscle memory, your brain will remember all these things that you've done in rehearsal full out. Okay, not haphazard, not half doing it. Okay, not half stepping. Okay, so when you go to rehearsal, be ready to rehearse, be ready to dance. Same thing with dance students at dance studios. Be ready to dance. Okay, be ready to learn. Be ready to be instructed on what to do. Okay, be ready to pay attention. Stop all that unnecessary talking. All right. Again, same thing with dance studio students that go to dance, taking dance classes at a studio. There are rules for you. Those were some of them that I just named. Another one, if your studio owner or instructor is requiring you to have your hair in a bun every time you come to rehearsal, put it in a bun. Or some people may call it a donut, put it in a bun or a donut. Or if you're not required to have it in a bun or a donut in rehearsal, but required to have it that way whenever you go out to dance or perform, and a donut is required, whether it's up here or a lower donut back here or a bun back here. Comply. You're part of this, you committed to this, stick to the rules. Same thing with you parents, y'all know better. Y'all know better. If your child gets her hair done and all pretty and beautified and stuff, got the low braids all the way down to the floor, like they're wearing them now. Parents, you know, when they go to that dance studio or they have to go perform somewhere and the requirement is for them to have that done, okay, properly, get it done. Stick to the rules. You two parents, stick to the rules. Because if you allow your child to go to rehearsal, go to class, or go to that event with their hair down or they bun half done, not done properly, you letting your child have her way. You're telling that child and you're teaching that child to disrespect the rule that was set in place by the studio owner. Or was instructed by the class instructor. Okay, so keep that in mind. You're teaching your child how to behave. You're teaching your child who to respect and who not to respect. Okay, so keep that in mind. So hair in a bun. Another rule at dance studios, no phones. Phones are off. Same thing in rehearsal. I did do that. So a lot of dance ministry members, leaders, for members, no phones on. Phones on silent. And I had it on silent because, no, I'll tell them to turn it off. Because it'll be on silent, but it'll vibrate. And that's a distraction. I tell them to turn your phone off. I surely did. Your phone needed to be off. Because again, if it's on silent and it's on vibrate, 9 times out of 10, it'll vibrate. It's a distraction. So no. So same thing with the studio, at the dance studio. Young children, they have phone. Everybody have phones. 5-year-olds have phones. Put them away. Put it in your dance bag. Some dance studios have like a little cupboard for all of everybody's dance bag to go into, shoes, dance clothes, regular clothes. Put their phone in there, put it off, put it on silent, depends on the dance studio owner and instructor. Put it on silent or turn it off until class is over. All right, so that's no phone. Dress properly. If at the dance school that you're being required to wear your leotards, your tights, as well as your skirt and your hair in a bun, on your shoes, if it's ballet slippers, tap shoes, or points or jazz shoes, and those are required for you to wear when you go to class, wear them. Again, parents, you need to enforce it. Make sure your child goes to class properly dressed according to the rules and the regulations. Y'all know, because at studios, dance studios, many times, majority of the dance studios, they have a contract for you parents to sign. And you agree to abide by these rules. So don't break them. And I'll try to ask for the dance studio owner to break them for you. And I'll talk about it again. All right. Dance students at dance studios, be sure to be respectful to others and be kind to all your dance mates. And of course, to your dance instructor, as well as your dance studio owner. Be kind and respectful to everyone because you will want to be respected and people to treat you kindly as well. All right. So don't be mean. Don't be talking about no other child in the class. Oh, she did that wrong and laugh because you wouldn't want nobody to laugh at you, right? Yes, that's right. So parents, teach your child, don't be laughing at nobody else because somebody will be laughing at them because they didn't do something right. They turning left when they should be turning right. Everybody else turn right and they laughing. No, okay. Again, that's respect and being kind. You got to be respectful and be kind. So that's another rule. Another rule in the dance studio, is, I already said, no unnecessary talking, no sidebar talking. Okay, that drove me. I didn't like sidebar talking in rehearsal from the adults as well as the kids. Why? Because they're not paying attention. How can you learn when you're talking? How can you hear me talk to you and tell you what to do if you having sidebar conversations with another dancer? You can't. You probably hear bits and pieces, but you're not gonna hear everything. And when I ask you, okay, what did I just say? Or go ahead and do such and such. Huh? What you mean? I missed that. Because you were talking. Same thing in the dance studio. No unnecessary talking. You really shouldn't be talking at all unless given permission to, or unless you really have to, really have to. But other than that, no talking. Pay attention so you don't miss a thing and so you can be on point in executing the dance movement or technique that your instructor has just recently shown. All right. So another rule is, and this goes for dance ministry members too in the church, do not leave early without permission. Do not leave early without permission. If you leave early, make sure you tell your dance instructor or dance studio owner or your dance ministry leader. Okay? Because when you leave in the middle of rehearsal, in the middle of dance class, and you just start grabbing your bags and you go and don't say a word, that's highly disrespectful. That's highly disrespectful. So what you need to do is, before rehearsal or before class, either you or your parent for the minor, call the dance ministry leader or dance studio owner or choreographer or instructor and let them know, hey, so-and-so got to leave early. Please forgive us. Please excuse her or him because they got to leave early for whatever reason. And it better be legit. Don't be just because I'm tired, I got to go home. You know, I worked all day. I'm just going to pick up your child early. No, because that's teaching your child what? Hey, the commitment is being committed to anything is not really all that. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't be 100% committed. No, you got to teach your child to be committed to something 100%. And no lame excuses should be heard and come out your mouth. It should be legit excuses. All right, so don't leave early without permission or prior approval. Now, when I've talked about attire, for some students, dance studios, there are male students. So make sure males, when you have a class and you have an instructor or a studio owner that has certain attire for you. If it's just like a plain white shirt and black palazzo pants and jazz shoes, or well, for us, we were bare feet in ministry. We wore bare feet in rehearsal. But for you males in the dance school, if that's your attire, a plain white t-shirt, black palazzo pants, jazz shoes or tap shoes, or what other shoes? Not points. A lot of, I don't recall seeing men in points, but jazz shoes, ballet slippers, or tap shoes. If that's your attire, don't take a white t-shirt that has graffiti on front, a picture on the front, and something writing on the back, and you take the white shirt and you flip it or wear it inside out, and then show up at the studio as if you have a plain white t-shirt. No, that's deception. Clean your clothes, keep your clothes clean, find a white shirt, have a lot of shirts are cheap, especially for the guys, especially in Walmart. Go to Walmart. Go to these little white shirts. They're like $5, $3. You catch them on sale, buy a whole pack, buy a whole bunch of them. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. So do not do that, gentlemen, young men, little lads, okay, and parents, again, make sure your son dresses appropriately to the dance classes. At the dance studio, he is attending and you are paying dollars for. Okay. All right. Another rule at the dancing school. I think there's one more. I talked about hygiene. That's for both dance ministry at the church and at the dance studio. Now let's get to the parents. I inserted parents every now and again, but here we go some more. Parents, again, bring your children or child to rehearsal or dance class on time. Be consistent. Don't be inconsistent, because again, that's teaching your child that, hey, signing up for something, you don't have to be there all the time. No, that's causing them to be lazy. It causing them to go into that lazy mode. Parents, make sure your child or the children, as I just discussed, are dressed properly. Again, it's for these minors. They learn from you. Are you teaching them well? Okay, and let them lead the way. You got to let them lead the way. You don't want them to lead the way wrong, so you got to teach them right. Okay, parents, this is in both dance ministry as well as in the dance studio classes. Parents, you're not allowed to sit. I'm going to say this. Some classes at some studios and at some churches and some dance ministries, they do allow parents to sit in. Parents, other relatives, and friends. I talked about that in one of my videos too, the previous videos. I think it was called unnecessary visitors, something like that, in your rehearsals. For me, that's a distraction. I didn't allow parents to come into the dance ministry rehearsals with the little girls, and definitely no friends with the adults. Again, because they were distractions. No, go shopping somewhere. Same thing with the dance studio owner. And for classes, parents, you can't be in there sitting there watching your child, because that's all you're going to do is watch your child in these classes and wonder why your child is in the back. Wonder why your child is not doing certain things. You're going to see favoritism when there really isn't. And also, you probably find yourself blurting out, Tanya, come here, let me fix your shirt. All that distraction. No, dropping keys, going to the bathroom, going to your car, in and out, closing and opening doors. No sitting around in a lot of dance classes and in a lot of dance rehearsals. And no peeking through the window. Go sit down, so go sit in a car, go for a drive. If you live nearby, go home, take a nap, watch TV, cook, prep your food, do something. That's my personal opinion. Just don't come in my room. Don't come in my rehearsal. Go somewhere. Because again, you're a distraction. And you've noticed, dance ministry leaders, if you haven't noticed, I know I have. When you have parents in these rehearsals or in class, the child acts babyfied. And they know they're grown. They're big girls. If they're 5 or 6 year old, they're big girls when the parents are not around. But when their parents are around, they start whining. Oh, of course, mommy gonna cater to her. Like, come on, baby, let me take. I'm gonna take her to the bathroom. All that, get out. So that's exactly how I feel. I'm sorry. That's like y'all a distraction. So no sitting around, no peeking through the window to see what your child doing, because then you're gonna critique the instructor or the dance studio owner. My child was doing something, or my child was pushed. Something. We don't need that. We got this. Dance ministry leaders got this. They're our children in our fold. In these 4 walls, they're our children. You trusted us with them. You paid your money for them to come into our fold, into our environment at the dance studio. You pay for it. That means you trust your child with us, with the leader, with the instructor, with the studio owner. So if you trust and stick to the rules. All right. Another thing as relates to parents, again, I kind of touched upon it before. Make sure you are very supportive of the instructor, studio owner, and dance ministry leader. Whatever they're asking of you, as well as the child or adult, especially the child, and for adults, But for parents, for your children, if the dance ministry leader or dance studio owner or dance instructor is asking you to do certain things for your child, or we need something from your child for your child to purchase, or you need your child to come here, there, do this, or whatever the case may be sure you support us. Support us, because we're a team to help your child grow in dance. We can't be separate on opposite teams and your child is in the middle and doesn't know which way to go. Confused. We need to be on the same team, on like minds, same mind, same goal, so that your child can be on that right path. It's just like two-parent household. The husband and the wife need to be one. When there's a decision made, that child knows, hey, they on the same team. They together, they working together. So I need to abide by this. I can't manipulate neither one of them, my mama nor my daddy, because they want on one accord, they together on this. Okay. They know. Children know who they can manipulate. They know who they can manipulate. And if you realize that, hey, my child manipulates me, like, wait, hold on. I'm the adult here. Show it, prove it. Tell your child that and show it to your child, and don't let your child run you. That's another story. Yeah, I have different stories. Another thing, a rule that can be in place is don't try to persuade the dance ministry leader or the dance studio owner to bend the rules for your child. Don't do that. Because if you're requesting them to bend the rules for your child, other parents talk. Other parents, you may happen to mention to one parent and they mention this and the word gets around to all the parents know, well, she did it for her child. Why she can't do it for my? Let me ask. I'm gonna ask. So they all want one. So no, just no. Don't try to do it. Even though I know you're still gonna try. But don't do it. Again, that's part of the support system. You're supposed to be a part of the support system. You committed your child, you're paying your money at the studio, you committed your child to be in this dance ministry, whatever's being asked, abide by the rules, stick to the rules. All right, and for dance studio owners, when that's your child, for parents at dance studios, if the dance studio owner is requesting a payment at a certain time, make sure you pay on time unless you get an automatic draft. Same thing with dance garments, and that's being dues in the dance ministry that's being asked. Please pay on time. That's part of the support system that's being asked of you parents at both the studio as well as the dance ministry. And be honest with as it relates to your child's challenges, if there are any. If your child has ADHD, if your child has autism, if your child is hearing impaired or has a certain physical disability, be honest. Don't hide that information, because I know you probably saying, I don't want my child to be treated special. I want her to be like all the other kids. But the dance studio owner, the dance instructor, or the dance ministry leader needs to know this, because accommodations can be made to make sure your child doesn't stand out in an awkward way. So just talk to a one-on-one with the dance ministry leader, the dance studio owner, as well as the instructor. Just say, look, my child does have ADHD, he or she is on medication, and I just hope that we can still work this out. Again, we're one team to make sure that your child is on the right path and being a great and wonderful dancer that she or he wants to be in life. If she or he is definitely ordained and anointed by God, by doing so, we need to do what we need to do to make sure that happens. All right, and lastly, as relates to the parents, if there are any concerns, address them calmly with the dance studio owner, dance instructor, or dance ministry leader. Calmly and respectfully and in a mature manner. If you come at the leader in a wrong way with an attitude, that's not gonna go well, and you're not gonna go far. It doesn't make sense. Just be mature about it, and don't expect for the leader, whether it's the studio owner, instructor, or dance ministry leader, to bend. If it's part of their rule, don't expect for them to bend the rules for you or your child if they don't have a special need. Okay, if they're not challenged, if they don't have a certain challenge. Don't expect for them to bend the rules just because of your child. Just don't expect that to happen. All right. Don't tell the dance, don't even tell them what to do. You should do this with the dance studio owner. You should have your classes at this time or at that time on these days. Don't do that. Even dance ministry leaders, don't tell them what to do. Don't tell instructors how to run their classes. Stay in your lane, parent, which is outside that door, till class is over or till rehearsal is over. Stay in your lane. Don't do that. All right. Now closing out with the lastly, the ministry leaders. As far as sticking to the rules, all I have to say to you, dance ministry leaders, dance studio owners, choreographers, dance school instructors. Only thing I have to really say to you is there's a rule in place. Stick to the rules. Stand firm. You can be kind and tell them in a nice, kind, calming, and respectful way. These are the rules. I'm sorry. You signed up this. You got your John Hancock on you. You agreed. You read it. You may not have read it, but your signature is here. Okay? So stick to the rules. Don't bend the rules. Don't show favoritism. And of course, as I mentioned before, you may have to do certain exemptions and kind of alter and adjust some of the rules, certain rules for the individual child or adult with certain challenges like ADHD, autism, or physical disability or hearing impairment. So, but other than that, don't bend the rules. Stick to it. Stick to it. Because this way, if you allow other people, parents, grandparents, and everybody else outside your fold to tell you what to do, how to do it, and you try to accommodate and please everybody, you know what that leads to? That leads to chaos. And that leads to it being a circus. And finally, it ends up being a lack of respect for you and your school, for you and your instructors, for you as a ministry leader in the church. Don't let that happen. Let this not be among you. Okay? Let this not be among you. Now, sticking to the rules is very important for everybody involved. The dance ministry members, the dance studio students at the dance studio owners, dance studio instructors, dance studio choreographers, even dance choreographers at the church, dance ministry, and most importantly, the parents. Sticking to the rules is very important. It must be in place to keep order, to keep excellence, keep the spirit of excellence going. Otherwise, it'll be total chaos. It'll be a circus. And then you'll be the talk of the town, talk of the city, and talk of the world probably eventually, if it gets there. So let this not be among you, dance ministry leaders, dance studio owners, choreographers, and instructors. Next week, I hope you've been blessed. On next week, I'm going to start looking at some videos and doing some reviews, dance video reviews, and posting them on TikTok page just to give my feedback. Wouldn't that be interesting? Yeah, and again, if you want me to do a dance video review of any of your videos, let me know. So that's going to be the next coming weeks. I'm going to take my time. I'm not sure how many weeks it's going to do. I'm going to do it. It's going to take, but I am going to start doing them on next week. And then after that, I'm going to talk about my book in detail. Not too much of a detail whereby you won't have to buy the book. No. Okay. So this is what's to come in the next upcoming weeks. Okay, dance video reviews by me from selected videos I find on social media. And then I'm going to talk about my dance book. All right, until then, you have a great one. God bless, and I'll see you then.